Hey guys and gals, welcome to part 3, the breakdown of my script, which finds all the Active Directory groups that one user is a member of, and makes another user a member of those same groups. In this final part, we'll take our script that we've learned in parts 1 and 2, and add it into an advanced function, which will turn it into a reusable tool, just like native PowerShell commandlets. It has positional parameters, and a positional parameter is one that assumes the name of the parameter simply by the position where you input the values. It will receive input from the pipeline, and with this feature, you can then integrate it into other scripts and or use it in conjunction with other commands. It has switch parameters, and switch parameters are kind of like a toggle on-off switch in which no extra input is needed, such as the -usePicker parameter, which allows us the option of using the outgrid view windows to select the groups, and the pass-through parameter gives us the option of outputting the groups that our target user was added to the console. So this could be useful if you wanted to log or document the action or pass those groups through the pipeline to another command. Now, the heart of an advanced function is found inside the process block. You can also think of it as the engine, and it's where most of the logic will be placed. If we compare the process block with our script from part 2, we can see many similarities. So our variable names have slightly changed, and 2 if statements are added to take action if the switch parameter is used. Otherwise, they're basically the same because they perform the same core function. And since the core part of that script is the same, we're really just changing how it's used. To create an advanced function, start by typing function and clicking on advanced function, and now we can see that it's given us a good template to work with. Now's a good time to give the function a name, ensuring that it follows the verb-noun format for consistency with other PowerShell functions and commands. So we can see that the commandlet binding is already there for us, and this is what makes a function an advanced function and unlocks these features that I've previously described. We'll begin by adding our first parameter. In the parent block, simply start typing parameter and choose the parameter declaration snippet. In the previous video script, the first variable that was created was the reference user variable. So let's use that as our first parameter. By default, the order in which we place parameters will determine the parameter position, so it also makes sense to start with reference user. We'll give it a brief description, like user's group membership to use as a reference, just something that you get an idea of what the parameter is used for. Next, we want to give the parameter some attributes. Because the function will not work without the reference user, we will make this parameter mandatory. If you were to attempt to use the command without the mandatory parameter, PowerShell will ask you to input something before proceeding. Because this is mandatory, we should also add a help message to let the person using the command know what kind of information is mandated. We also need to separate the attributes by a comma to let PowerShell know that we're starting a new attribute and it's not just a continuation of something before it. The last attribute we'll add is value from pipeline to enable this parameter to receive input from the pipeline. Since there are more than one attribute, we'll place each one on a new line to make it easier to read. The parameter type determines how PowerShell treats the input object. For example, a 2 can be either a number, known as an integer, or text, known as a string. So if we type integer of 2 times integer 2, we get 4. But if we type string 2 times string 2, we'll get 22 because it combines the 2 strings together. Since we're mimicking some functionality of the get80 user commandlet, as well as to ensure interoperability with it, I'm going to use the type from the documentation. In this case, it's AD_user. Before we add a new parameter, we need to add a comma after the reference user variable to indicate that there will be a follow-on parameter. We'll add a second parameter similar to the first and make a couple adjustments for the target user parameter. Since this is not going to be receiving input from the pipeline, we'll leave that out. Just like with the add AD group member command from our previous video, we want to be able to add one or more users to a group, so we'll add an opening and closing bracket after AD principal. As I've mentioned earlier, a switch parameter is like a toggle on-off switch in which no extra inputs needed. Now, these will not be mandatory and have no attributes. To simplify the begin process and end blocks, also known as advanced methods, the begin block is for one-time pre-processing, a process block is for multiple record processing, and this block is also required at a minimum for processing input from the pipeline, and an end block for one-time post-processing. Because we're not doing any pre or post-processing, and the reference user parameter is receiving input from the pipeline, only the process block will be used. Since we've already written most of the script logic, let's use the previous script as a guide for what to place in the process block. We'll add the if statements where we'd want to use the switch parameters. Now that we've finished the logic portion, let's add some comment-based help. Comment-based help is a way to add helpful information to your advanced function that can be retrieved with the get help command. It's called comment-based because you use it in a block comment. The position of the comment-based help should be placed after the function and before the param block. And comment-based help is triggered when you use certain keywords. While all keywords will probably go unused, I would recommend that at a minimum, that a description or synopsis and examples of the function be added to the comment block. Now that we've finished writing the function, save it with a .psm1 file extension in the PowerShell modules folder. Import the newly created module, and then we can use the copy AD group membership command in PowerShell. This is the end of the 3-part video series where I took you on a PowerShell coding journey, starting with a basic script, adding some cool features to it, and concluded with an advanced function. All of the scripts shown in the videos, as well as the write-up, will be on my GitHub, linked in the description. If you found the video useful, push that like button. I'll be uploading more videos regularly, so make sure that you're subscribed. Thank you for watching, and I hope you learned something.